Hey everybody, so I'm here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Rumbleverse going for the extra special achievement. This is to win a match never picking up a special move. I'm going to highly recommend that you do this in a team-based game, so make sure you get some friends or boosting partners along, or you could try your luck with the randoms, but basically try to go into a team mode, and that way you can go for a game where your teammates can pick up special moves and you can't, and then make sure you get into the game and make sure you rely on your teammates for the long haul. Of course, this is going to be a battle royale game, so this is going to have a bit of luck to it. So I'm going to recommend hopefully that you hold out and then get a situation where you do get lucky and end up making it all the way to the end. That being said, even though you can't pick up special moves, you can pick up anything else. Special moves are going to be the books that you find. You usually find them by breaking crates or from vending machines. So they're going to be the things that you equip to left bumper and right bumper. Just make sure you avoid picking them up if you do see them. If you'd accidentally pick one up, as long as you do not slot it to one of your bumpers, you should be good for the achievement. So when you are scavenging, make sure you just stick to every other type of item. So look for weapons, power-ups, food, etc. Just make sure you avoid those books, and then you should be good. The books are going to be the little square things if you are still new to the game, so they're going to look a little something like this. Just make sure you avoid them in their entirety, and then you should be good for the requirements of the achievement. Of course, we do have to make it to the end, which is going to be quite challenging, so hopefully you can stick it out for the long haul, or have some good teammates who can carry you. So we're going to recommend that you play pretty defensively, since you are going to be at a pretty big disadvantage if you are going up against people who are actually picking up special abilities. You can use your normal attacks, so hopefully you are finding those attack power-ups to level up quite a bit, but just make sure you avoid big engagements and make sure you always play on the defensive, and we're just going to keep running. Hopefully you are pretty lucky in trying to level your guy up. If not, you are going to have to play super evasively and super defensively. So thankfully you have the zone to take advantage of, as with any other battle royale, so just make sure you use that to your liking. My best advice is, if someone's chasing you, try to get onto a wall. People are going to have a very difficult time of attacking you while you are in your climbing animation. So hopefully the final zone is going to be in an area that has a bunch of climbable surfaces, as you can cling onto the wall in order to get a nice defensive start to your escape. Also, as a side note, hopefully your teammates end up sticking around until the game gets into the final zone. The reason for that is the only co-op required achievement in this game is to have you and a teammate both survive until the game gets into the final zone. So you can work on that at the same time, which is going to be another reason I recommend doing this in a team-based mode. And going for that one is also going to take care of the achievement for just reaching the final zone in general, which can be done by yourself normally, but might as well get it done as a team. So if you do plan on going for either one of the two final zone achievements, the one for just reaching the final zone and the one for reaching the final zone with at least one teammate, you are going to have to wait until the game actually shrinks down to its smallest size. So make sure you play defensively even if there is only one other person left. Just make sure you try to stall the game as long as you can, and then once the circle closes to its smallest size, everyone should be good for their final zone achievements. So there's going to be one for just reaching the final zone, and there's going to be one for reaching the final zone with a teammate intact if you do have someone on your team still alive with you. So make sure you try to go for those two whenever you can, especially this achievement since it requires you to get so late into the game anyways. So once you have secured your final zone achievement, just make sure you go for the win. Obviously, this can go either way if it's just down to you versus a single person, so hopefully your team is still around so you can gang up on them, but just try your best to stick it out. If you didn't do a good job of powering up in this game, you are going to have to play pretty defensively, as not having any special moves is going to make things rather challenging. So, thankfully, you can play super evasively, and then just try to cheese the remaining opponents out of the zone, as once the zone shrinks down to its smallest, it is going to start moving, so hopefully you can get it to move past an obstacle where you can outsmart the opponents by just taking advantage of the environment. So make sure you try to do that. Remember, you are going to be super evasive in your climbing animation, so take advantage of any tall buildings. If you can't outmuscle your opponent, it's always good to just try to outsmart them, and then hopefully, if you manage to win regardless, you should be good for the achievement, as long as you don't have anything attached to your bumpers throughout the entirety of the game. And then once you do finally secure things, you should be good for the hardest achievement of the game, which is going to be the only achievement that actually requires you to win, thankfully. So here we are, getting the win, and then our achievement should unlock as soon as we hit the champions screen. There it is, 200 gamer score for this one. And that's all there is to it.